welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I would like to say a happy Eid or Eid Mubarak to anyone who is celebrating tomorrow. I asked on my Facebook and my Twitter if you guys would like to see an Eid makeup tutorial or whether it was too late to do one, but so many of you had said yes and left me combination colours as well, so thank you very much for that. I decided to go for a goldy, greeny kind of makeup look just because I know a lot of you had asked for a purpley look, but I am going to be redoing a purpley kind of winged eye, smoky eye kind of thing that I wore in a last video of mine. I think it was a favourites video, and so many of you asked for me to do that look, so I'm going to be doing that separately. So I decided to pick gold and green just because I think it's a really nice combination, and a lot of you had asked for brown as well, so I've added some brown into my eyes as well. So I've tried to kind of take inspiration from quite a few of you. You can totally customise this look by using products that you already have that are similar to this, or even change the green to a different colour, but I personally just love the way that this eye has turned out. I think that the glitter that I've put on top is just amazing. I just love this glittery look. And also this is the nude lip, which is my kind of like current go-to combination. So I decided to pair it with a kind of mauvey, browny, very muted nude lip. So yeah, if you would like to see how I got this makeup look, then please keep watching.
So I'm starting off with my foundation. I'm using a mixture of the Born This Way foundation in the shade Sand and the Maybelline Fit Me in 220. And I am speeding over this because you guys know how I do my foundation with my damp beauty blender. And then for concealer and highlight, I used my Eye Eraser by Maybelline. And again, I'm trying to speed through this as much as I can because I did a chatty Shay Mitchell inspired fall look on my channel recently, which I'll leave a link to in the info box below, and it's super chatty and I go through everything in more depth. So if you want to watch that, then feel free to, but I'm just highlighting and concealing the usual places before contouring, and for that I used my L.A Girl Pro Conceal in Beautiful Bronze, again in my usual places, and if you would like to see it kind of in depth, then don't forget to check the link in the info box. So once I'm done with adding the colour to the areas I want it to be in, I'm going in and blending all of those lines out. And just as a final touch, I'm also going over with my beauty blender as well, because I just feel like this gives it that polished and finished look and feel to the skin. Next up, I realised I forgot to put lip balm on, so I'm finding my baby lips and putting that on. And also I did moisturise my skin with my Josie Maran facial oil beforehand as well. Then taking the Kick-Ass powder by Soap & Glory, I am setting all the areas that we applied the highlighter and concealer on. And someone asked me that this made them look really cakey, and my biggest motto in life when it comes to makeup is less is always more. So always apply thin layers. Then to set where I contoured, I'm using the Master Sculpt in medium dark, and I'm using the brush that it comes with because this gives a really nice defined sharper look to the contour. And I'm also adding it to the other areas where we applied that beautiful bronze concealer, and I also dropped the brush. And then taking this eyeshadow by Makeup Revolution in the shade Mocha Love, I'm just going over those areas just to add a bit of a cooler bronzed effect to the rest of my skin. And once I was done with that, it was time to kind of sharpen up the contour a little bit more because I've been doing this a lot recently. So I'm taking that same Maybelline concealer and just going ahead and sharpening those areas before blending it all out with my damp beauty blender. And once I was done with that, I took the same kind of brush that I used for the bronzing and contouring and just went over all the lines to make sure that they weren't really crazily like angular and sharp. And then off camera I did my brows. I will leave a link to my brow tutorial in the info box. Now onto the eyes, I used the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the shade Eden and put this all over my eyes as a nice base for the eyeshadows to stick onto and the colours to pop. Now grabbing Champagne Pop by Becca Cosmetics and the collaboration with Jaclyn, who is amazing, I'm just applying this onto my brow bone. I did about 2 layers of this on and it just is such an incredible highlighter, which I love. Then taking Barcelona Beach, which is this beautiful cool toned shade by Makeup Geek, I'm applying this to my crease and just kind of working the colour in ever so slightly before going in with Mocha, which is also by Makeup Geek. And I'm going in and deepening that kind of crease area, just to add a bit more dimension and depth to all of the eyes. Once I was done with that, I went in with a clean fluffy brush just to make sure that all of the areas were nicely blended, like you can see me doing here. And this just makes the kind of eyes look really nice and polished and clean. And then going back in with the Mocha shade, I am basically packing this colour onto the outer third of my eye and the inner third, leaving the centre bare. So as you can see, I'm just kind of building up the colour ever so slightly and ever so slowly until I am happy with the way both of my eyes are looking, and I'm happy with kind of the position of them both, before going in with this gorgeous shade called Jester, which is also by Makeup Geek, and using my fingers I'm applying that to the centre of my eyes. I feel like this is the best way to apply these foil eyeshadows from Makeup Geek, and as you can see, it's looking gorgeous. I keep going in until I'm happy with the level of coverage of this on my eyelids before going in with Mocha again, just to deepen up the outer and inner corners of my eyes, just in case if any of it was taken away by that Jester colour. And I'm also kind of slightly adding it into the crease just to deepen that up a little bit more as well. And you've probably guessed it, I'm just going in with a clean fluffy brush again, just to make sure that all of the lines are nice and blended and there's no harshness going on. Now next is my favourite part, it's the glitter, and I'm using this Urban Decay eyeliner in the shade Distortion, and I am basically just going to town on my eyelids. I did quite a few layers of this eyeliner or glitter, whatever you'd like to call it, on my eyelids, just until I was happy with the kind of colour payout of it, and I kind of added until I was happy with both of my eyes and that they were looking as even as possible. And one thing I would say is give your eyes a good few minutes for this to dry, because you don't want the glitter to go onto your crease or anything like that. So a good way to test is to touch it to make sure no glitter is on your fingers. Then I went in with my lashes and my mascara. The lashes that I'm using is the Huda Beauty lashes in Samantha and my usual mascara, Lash Sensational, before going in with my Perversion eyeliner by Urban Decay, and I'm lining both my upper and lower waterline because I wanted to go for a bit of a smoked out look underneath my eyes, which you'll see me do next. So I'm going to grab Mocha, the shade that we used on the top part of the eyes, and I'm just smoking that out underneath my lash line. And I'm going quite heavy on this. I didn't realise it would be this heavy because I was just making this up as I went along. But I actually really liked the kind of heaviness and the depth of the eyes at the bottom. Here I'm just going over the upper, inner and outer corners to make sure that I was happy with the darkness of those areas because I felt like it needed to match the bottom. And then grabbing Champagne Pop again, I decided to add this into the inner corners of my eyes just to make them look a little bit more kind of more wide open and awake. And then I went in with my Lash Sensational and popped that on to my lower lashes. And I felt like I really need to do this to basically even out the top of my lashes with my bottom. Then taking Becca Cosmetics' Champagne Pop again, I am applying that to the tops of my cheeks, and you guys, I'm so obsessed with this highlighter at the moment. As you can see, it just looks so gorgeous. I'm also putting this onto the bridge of my nose, on the top of my eyebrows and my cupid's bow before going in with my eyeliner. So I'm using this matte eyeliner here from Maybelline, and I thought this wouldn't be like crazily matte, but it is crazily matte, and I love that about it. I love matte eyeliner. It's like my favourite look to go for. So here I'm just adding a little bit of a wing, and then I went a little bit crazy and my wing got thicker, so I just kind of went with it and was just evening out my eyes here. For blush, I used Romantic Rose 01 by Milani, which has basically become my go-to blush of the moment. And for lips, I went in with my favourite nude combo at the moment, which is Nude Embrace by Maybelline, which is a new kind of matte lipstick that they've come out with, which is so incredibly comfortable to wear. And then I took my NYX Lip Liner in Mahogany to line my lips so that they were kind of like not hidden away in my skin and actually looked a bit more defined. So you guys, this is the final look for Eid. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. It is definitely something that you can wear for the fall time as well because the colours are super appropriate. If you do end up recreating this look, please don't forget to hashtag Kaushal Beauty so I can check out your recreations. But yeah, I guess that's all for now, you guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!